Hello friends, I sold my Volkswagen Golf. Now I have this Honda CR-V, which is more off-road ready, although it's still not really an off-roader. So from now on, I guess this will be a soft roading channel instead of a golf roading channel. The CR-V has about 3 more inches of ground clearance and is all-wheel drive, and as you'll see later in the video, it lets me get to more places. As you can see from this convenient sassafras leaf map of Michigan, I traveled from southeast Michigan, where I live, to Sunrise Lake, which is between Cadillac and Clare, Michigan. And from there I saw an old bridge, a fire tower, and the city of Manistee. I can't really recommend Sunrise Lake State Forest Campground as a good spot to camp. It was fine, but there was a lot of noise from the surrounding area and no water access. If you're looking to do some light to medium off-roading, though, the campground is right at the head of a trail that goes through some very muddy, hilly terrain, which at the end ended up being a little bit too much for my car. I'll let you enjoy some funky beats and synthwave music while I cruise through the woods. These puddles never look super deep on camera, but they were actually 8 to 10 inches deep, and there's no way the Golf could have made it through this next part. These trails are, some of them are actual roads, some of them are just off-road trails, and this trail runs all the way down to the city of Everett. And from watching some other folks' videos, it looks like it's a pretty mild trail for the most part, with a couple of harder spots. In a couple of minutes, you'll see I get to the loop at the end of what looks like this first trail, and a bunch of the side trails have been blocked off, probably by the DNR, with only one way to go further forward. There were a bunch of other folks out with much more capable vehicles like side-by-sides and Jeeps, and I didn't want to get in their way or get stuck, so I ended up turning around and going back after that. I did pick up a GoPro, so once I get a mount for the car and a selfie stick, I should be able to get some more fun shots of the vehicle, like from the outside as it goes through puddles and up and over hills and stuff. So coming soon to a video near you. My first side quest of the trip was to see the Udell fire tower. It was built in the late 30s and abandoned in the early 60s when they started doing more plane flyovers to watch for fires. Took me a little while to find it. I kind of got lost. Thanks to Restless Viking and Trail Expeditions, I'll put links to their videos down below, for helping me find out about this tower and giving me the chance to go and see it. As you can see, there's some barbed wire wrapped around the bottom of this tower. Some people think it's to stop people from climbing it. I personally have a different opinion. I think that it's probably because the great demon Kalkaska is still trapped up in the top of the tower, waiting to escape and kill us all. Here's some drone footage of the tower with some awesome synthwave music by Tim Kulig. You can find his music on Pixabay. I'll try and figure out how to link to it below. It's good stuff. My second side quest was an accident. I drove across the Mortimer E. Cooley Bridge on the way to Manistee, not even realizing that it was there. I'd seen the Cut River Bridge, which is its sister, up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Both bridges are about 600 feet long and were built in the late 30s and early 40s, and are some of the most beautiful bridges in the whole state if you want to stop and check them out. The park and boardwalk under this particular bridge seem to be closed for renovations right now, so you kind of have to just see what you can see from the road top, and there's a small observation deck over on the park side. Look at that dork. The next little bit here, you can see where an inexperienced, moronic drone pilot almost crashed into some power lines a couple of times. Luckily, the drone and the power lines both survived. My last stop was in the city of Manistee, which is right on Lake Michigan. It's a beautiful little town of about 6,000 people with beaches and some wildlife, some cool lighthouses and stuff. You'll see I took pictures of a lot of stuff, but didn't really shoot a lot of video during this part. The ship that you see is the USS City of Milwaukee, which used to carry cars across Lake Michigan. That's a merganser with a bunch of babies on its back. And the rest of these should be fairly self-explanatory. After that, I went back to camp and spent the rest of the afternoon and evening just sitting around the fire, trying to avoid the rain underneath my tarp. And I ate a really lazy dinner of canned soup and vegetables heated on my little stove, and then read by the fire for the rest of the night. I had been looking for a little bit larger tent for a while, and my brother Dan gave me this one that he wasn't using anymore. Unfortunately, it's leaked on me in the rain twice, so I ended up sleeping in the car, which was way better than sleeping in the Golf, and I'm giving him the tent back to see if he can fix it. I got up before light the next day and packed up all my wet stuff in the car and headed home. I spent the first couple hours driving on rural highways before I got to the expressway and finished off the rest of the trip. I saw these turkeys pretending to be the Beatles' Abbey Road cover and running across the road. I had a great trip. Hope you guys had fun watching this. Remember, if you live in Michigan, you always have a map handy. Thanks.